Hello listeners, this is the continuing video of Mahabharat audio series. This video will be regarding chapter number 89. It's about Jayadratha slain. The decisive hour has come, Karn, said Duryodhan. If before nightfall this day Jayadratha is not slain, Arjun will be disgraced and he will kill himself for not having redeemed his oath. With Arjun's death, the destruction of the Pandavas is certain, and this kingdom will be ours in unquestioned and absolute sovereignty. Dhananjay swore this impossible oath in a moment of thoughtlessness, because the gods had willed it that he would be thus destroyed by his own hand. It seems my stars are now in the ascendant. We should not let this opportunity slip. We must see somehow that his challenge fails. The whole thing depends on you. Your great skill in battle is on trial today. Prove yourself this day. See, the sun has sloped down in the west. Within the little time left before nightfall, I do not think it possible for Parth to reach Jayadratha. You, Ashwathama, Salya, Kripa and I must guard Jayadratha and do all we can to see that he does not fall into Arjun's hands during the next few hours before sunset. My king, Karn replied, I have been wounded all over by Bhimsena, and am so weary that my limbs have no power in them. Still, I shall put forth all the strength that is in me. I only live to serve you. When Karn and Duryodhan were thus planning, Arjun was engaged in a great attack on the Kaurav army and putting forth all his strength, so that before sunset he could break through to Jayadratha. Krishna put his Panchajanya in his mouth and blew a loud note in the Rishabh Swara, which was a signal for his own charioteer Daruka to arrive at once with his chariot. When it came, Satyaki took his place in it and attacked Karn vigorously and skillfully, keeping him fully engaged. Daruk's mastery of driving and Satyaki's archery were such as brought down the gods to witness the combat. Karn's 4 chariot horses were disabled, and the charioteer was unseated. Then the flagstaff was cut asunder, and the chariot was smashed. The great Karna stood chariotless, and the event produced a great flutter in the Kaurav army. Karn had to run and climb up into Duryodhan's chariot. Sanjay here tells Dhritarashtra, to whom he was relating the incident. The greatest adepts in the archery are Krishna, Parth and Satyaki. There is not a fourth to match them. Arjun broke through the Kaurav opposition and reached Jayadratha. Inflamed by the thought of the slaughter of Abhimanyu and all the great wrongs inflicted by the Kauravas, Arjun fought with fury. Sabhyasachin, as he was, he discharged shafts from the Gandiv, now using one hand and now the other, and struck terror and confusion among his enemies, who felt as if death had come to the battlefield with wide open jaws. It is only the poet of the Mahabharata that can describe the combat that raged between Arjun and Ashwathama and the other great warriors that protected the king of Sindhu. They fought fiercely but were all defeated and could not prevent Arjun from reaching Jayadratha. The attack on Jayadratha began and the battle raged long. Both sides were constantly looking westwards, for the day was nearing its end. The Sandha was no mean foe, and taxed to the full. Arjun's strength and skill were hard put to it. The sun sank towards the horizon and reddened, but the battle did not cease. There is but a very little time left. It seems Jayadratha has been saved and Arjun's challenge has failed. The woe is unfulfilled and Arjun is going to be disgraced, said Duryodhan to himself in great glee. Then there was darkness and the cry went round in both armies. It is sunset and Jayadratha has not been killed. Arjun has lost. The Pandavas were depressed and there were shouts of joy in the Kaurav army. Jayadratha turned to the western horizon and thought within himself, I am saved. For he did not see the sun then, and thought the time limit of danger from Arjun was over. At that moment, however, Krishna said to Arjun, Dhananjay, the Sindhu Raja is looking at the horizon. I have caused this darkness. The sun is still up and has not set. Do your work. This is the moment for it, for Jadrith is off his ground. A shaft flew from the Gandiv and like a vulture swooping down on a chicken, carried away Jadrith's head. Listen, Arjun, cried Krishna, send your shafts in swift relays, so that the head may be supported from falling to the earth and borne into Vridakshatra's lap. And Arjun sent his wonderful arrows which carried away the head in the air. It was a strange sight. Vridakshatra was in his ashram, sitting in the open, absorbed in his evening meditation with eyes closed, when his son's head with beautiful black hair and golden earrings gently dropped into his lap. The old king finished his meditation and got up, when the head rolled down and fell on the ground, and, as ordained, Vridakshatra's head burst into 100 fragments. Jayadratha and his father together reached the abode of the brave. Keshav, Dhananjay, Bhim, Satyaki, Yuddhamanyu and Uttamojas blew their conchs, and Dharmaraja, who heard the triumphant noise, knew that it meant that Arjun had redeemed his oath and that the Sandhav had been slain. Then Yudhishthira led his army fiercely against Drona. It was nightfall, but on the 14th day of the battle, the rule of cease fire at sunset was not observed. As the passions rose from day to day, one by one the rules and restraints broke down. Chapter 89 finishes here. Keep listening Mahabharat audio series in the next videos.